episode 72, we have Mike Lindner from the once so famous 28 North.
Yes, sir.
But now he's his one-man band. Check him out.
Thank you, guys.
You're listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. With your hosts, Joe Ferranti and Jerry Kenna. Produced by Nathan Kenna. Interviewing entrepreneurs, business operators, and investors. This episode of Between Two Bridges is brought to you by Duro Cleaners. Luxury laundry care conveniently delivered to your door. Visit durocleaners.com because life's better without laundry.
What are we at here? Episode 72. All right, Between Two Bridges, episode 72. I'm here with my co-host Jerry and the music man, Mr. Michael Lindner. I added an extra syllable
Because of that jug of water. Michael Lindner. Lindner.
All right, we'll start it off, right?
Yeah.
So, you want to give a short bio about yourself?
I'm a musician.
Nice, man. That's a short bio. That's a very short bio.
I do it full time. I'm blessed to be able to do such a thing in this country.
And you've been doing it full time forever.
I've been doing it for, I can't do I can't work for anybody else.
That's so awesome.
I'm lucky to have enough venues that like me and book me throughout the year that I can, keep the lights on.
So a lot of times, like when I go on vacation, like vacation spots are like music spots.
Yeah, I could.
But like Pittsburgh, when you come home from that and you want to find it, all you got to do is look for it.
We have it in spades. Pittsburgh is like the most, it's lightning in a bottle here.
Yeah.
We have so many great musicians and so many places to play. And it's weird because it's like people don't even really know it. Right.
You got to know what to look for. You just got to look for it.
It's here, man. It's here.
You have a favorite venue you play? I
like playing at Narcissi Winery quite a bit because it's close and they're super nice.
And it's set up for it? They have a stage there, right?
They have a big old stage and there's always people there. I just played at Market Square. That was cool. Just like
did you St. Patty's Day?
I did, although I only played one Irish song.
What's your favorite Irish song that you play then?
Zombie by the Cranberries. Does that count? I kept saying, does that count? But I like all of it. I mean, venues. I like the Thunderbird. My band just had a reunion show there, which was awesome. I'm gonna go with the Thunderbird. I love that place.
That's like a throwback.
Because I loved it before, and it was amazing before, and then it's like, have you been there since they've renovated?
No,
because you got kids.
Yeah. Well, there was like a big punk scene back in the day. Thunderbird, Mr. Smalls
Thunderbird
was
is
like 2 spots to be.
Well, it's like quadruple in size as it used to be. If you remember, like when you'd walk up and there'd be a pool table, and then there's a little stage. You won't even recognize it.
I knew I was an entrepreneur at a young age when I realized, like, I walked in there and was like, they don't even need a pool table. Everybody's here for the music. No one needs to play pool. Just make it bigger. So, see?
They did, and it's tremendous.
20 years later, here we are.
Oh, yeah. They just didn't need it anymore. He was right.
Yeah.
Didn't need it.
No one took up space. Like, you're going there to see a band. Who's playing pool and like listening?
You'd be surprised how many dads are playing pool. Their kids' bands are shitting it up there. Not mine.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh you don't think that, I never would have thought that Pittsburgh was a hot spot for an up and coming musician.
I don't know if it is that, but it is a great spot for working musicians.
Okay.
I mean, talent is everywhere.
Sure.
You find talent, you find out people are from wherever, and we have that, and you still got to go to LA or Nashville or New York. You do to really make it. I mean, but to work, which is what I do, and be able to go home to your family every night and have a great life.
Right.
Which is, and all that pressure that is on those artists that, where I'd been there, I lived in LA and had the record deal and that was cool. But like, all you really are is in debt if you do it right. You know, it's unbelievable. It's a lot of pressure, but this is great. This is like drive to money, entertaining people, enjoy yourself, drive home.
Yeah, that's like kind of crazy because I never even thought about like the difference between a working musician and then like a want to be a rock star musician.
Yeah.
It's like everybody wants to be a rock star, right?
Yeah.
Until it comes down to like real life and you have a kid and a family.
Real life means you just don't see the people you love too often.
Yeah.
You got to work whatever advance you might be lucky enough to get. You got to pay it back before you start earning any money, which is no fun.
Yeah, and like there's advancements on everything. Like we had...
Especially like, you know, like, okay, here's your record advance. Go sell me all these records. Well, wait a second. Who the hell buys records? So live performances is what I make my money. I mean, I still get some money from, which is nice, from royalties and stuff, songs I've had here and there that I've written. But it all comes from performances. And I get paid on the spot, which is nice.
So you wrote songs for other people?
No, for myself.
Okay.
I've had people cover my songs, but I've had my own songs, you know, my versions of them be on the radio and stuff.
Right. Yeah, man.
I would like to write songs for other people, but
So let's rewind then. So you spent some time in LA. You did the rock star life. You traveled. You did all that.
So yeah.
So let's talk about that. So you're beginning of your career. You decided you didn't want to work for somebody else.
Well, it goes way further than that. LA was like at the end.
Okay.
Before this new beginning, which was when I had kids or a kid.
Yeah.
But Duquesne University started the band. Well, Fox Chapel High School really started the band with a friend of mine, Alex, who's got a local business here in Pittsburgh called Sunburst Music, School of Music.
Okay.
Phenomenal business, phenomenal guy. Taught me to play guitar. We were best friends until he quit the band and we were mortal enemies. And now we are best friends again, which is great because we swim at the same pool. But we started a band. I went to Duquesne for music, met my drummer, who was the drummer until the very end. Like to the point of like, I can't play with, like, I won't do 28 North unless he's there, was there. And then we all failed out of music school because we weren't good enough at it. And we all started driving school buses for the city. So we're all living in Oakland, driving school buses, trying to figure out how to make it. We had met some people who could make some local things happen for us, and we were good too. So people booked us. We got shows. Fast forward, Alex quits the band. We moved to New York. The producer, who passed away, rest in peace, kind of put like a wedge into the band, was like, oh, I think Michael should sing more of the songs, kind of thing. And so Alex and I kind of started fighting, literally, and arguing, but also a couple physical altercations. And then one day he just quit. So we ended up finding someone really quickly to replace him. This was like still before LA. And things were really stressful. So I went on a family vacation because the whole life was the band for everybody. We go on this family vacation and we're in the pool and we meet this guy named Jerry Heller, randomly, who was NWA's manager famously. Have you ever seen Straight Outta Compton? Yeah. Paul Giamatti plays Jerry. Jerry was also Average White Band's manager, and you Google that dude. You want to see, I mean, Elton John, he was his agent. Pink Floyd, he booked Pink Floyd's first show. Like, the dude's credence, like the dude's resume would blow almost anyone's away. So I meet this dude in a pool. He's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm a musician. I play him a song, which ended up being a single that did really well for us. He said, move to LA, I'll manage you. So we get in our van, we drive to LA, we lived in a KOA for 6 years in our tour bus. And that was the middle, you know? So a lot happened, you know, before.
Yeah.
And then we go to LA and like, we didn't have any, it was $500 to, you know, which we'd make, you know, in 2 gigs or whatever.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I mean, it was tough to make any money.
Yeah.
But, you know, when we drive from Acton, which is like 24 miles north of LA, to Hollywood and do the Hollywood thing and stay a couple days, crash with people, hang out with bands, play shows, go to podcasts, do whatever, you know, make a record. We made a record. And then we drive home and like, we did that for a long time. And then it kind of felt like, well, what the hell are we actually doing? We get a record deal. And then we're like, we did it. And then they were like, here's your money. And we're like, great. And then they're like, okay, we want you to do a crowdsourcing campaign. We're like, what the fuck is that? They said, we want you to ask all your fans to do, what were those things called? A GoFundMe or something?
Yeah.
We're like, well, we're not doing that. We're not asking people who, we first of all, we had like maybe 80 real fans. I mean, people we knew them all.
Like Steve has been at every show.
Yeah, like your wife was one, people we know.
Yeah.
We're not going to ask them for their money, no way. Especially now that they think we're like these rock stars. So we sent the money back. We said, we don't want your money. We're going to do this on our own. So we go back. We're independent artists. And we had a song do really well at radio. We're on tour with ZZ Top, which was cool, but maybe not the best move as a young band. And one of the guys just quits. So we're like, So he quits. We're in the middle of the road. And so it just started getting harder and harder to navigate. And then I find out that my girlfriend, who I met on Tinder, is pregnant. She's my wife now. And I was like, all right, band's over. So that's how the band wrapped up. So then like immediately I'm like, well, I have no idea how to do anything. Yeah. What the hell am I going to do? And I started, like, I got this loop pedal. Ed Sheeran had just done this tour where it's like he made more money than anybody because it was one man on it with a loop pedal playing the drums. And you could see my guitar has holes in it from that. So I became like a one-man band and kept playing my own songs. People were like, "Oh, you play covers?" Like, sure, I play covers, but like, no one's hiring me to play covers. I go play whatever the hell I want to play. Yeah. So it's nice. So that's where we're at now. Been doing this like 8 years now. My daughter's 8.
That's crazy.
So I just started fishing and playing solo shows. And
yeah, because when I met you, you were still in 28 North.
Right. Yeah.
You guys were trying to keep it together here in Pittsburgh.
We were trying. We were like, they were driving in from Cleveland to make like $100 each. And
was that Andrew?
That was Tyler and Mark. Mark Andrew.
Yeah, Mark Andrew. Yeah, I was close enough. Yeah.
Great people. I mean, these are my brothers for life. But like, and like we just played last in January or December, and it was the best. Like, but you can't just like with a band. I really do think the personnel is like so important.
Yeah.
And we tried doing a show with a different drummer, and I just look back at him and I look at Mark and I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I need Tyler, drummer. He's integral in this. It's either with him or I'll just be by myself.
It's funny because like we talk about like different things in businesses here, and like when you're put on a show, like you need to really jive. Like you need to have it. Like you can't have one guy sleeping in the back while the other guys. You need it to go on.
You need to like the people you work with to be productive.
So the band atmosphere's got to be tough because you now have like the best drummer, the best bass guitarist, the best singer. You're putting 5 of the best together to make a good band. Yeah. And everybody's got an ego.
Because they're the best.
Yeah.
See, that's the beauty of Tyler Bond, who is
your guy.
He just does it. He does it, but he doesn't have it. There's no ego in that man.
Your local producer that passed away, what was his name?
He wasn't local.
Oh, okay.
He was from New York. His name was Felix.
Yeah.
McTeague.
That's always tough too. Like we're getting to that age. We're all 40 now. Like,
he died young. It was crazy and it was tragic. It was like, and he also fucked me over. So it made it even. He did, which made it weirder.
So if you're listening, you owe him one.
I got nothing but love for anyone who's ever helped me. But sometimes people like, you end a relationship because of something they did that wasn't that cool. So but I still love him. I just shouldn't have fucked me over.
So that's like the synopsis of it. But like you grew up in like a background of business too, right? Your parents had a bus garage? They
not growing up.
No,
that happened right as the band started, which was great because then we could drive for the bus company.
Okay, so that's
that's
how 4 stoners got a bus contract driving. It wasn't because you guys were highly qualified.
You bet. That's exactly, that's right. And,
did you want to go to Duquesne for music, or were you going to go there for
I just, looking back, I was just like, I don't know. I thought I wanted to go to school for music until I got there, and they were like, read this. And I was like, I don't read music. I'm a guitar player. So then I'm like, and it was too hard for me. It was like literally like, if I was to give you a piece of paper in Swahili and tell you, read this, it was like that. Because I could play, I love to play.
Yeah.
But I couldn't read.
You weren't a serious composer schooled.
I mean, I just couldn't read music. I never thought about it until I got to school. And then so I'm so far behind all these other people who went to, I played sports growing up. I didn't play music. And once I started playing.
You're a tennis guy, right?
I mean, first of all, I do play tennis. I played, yes. But I'm not good at it. I just love it. No, I grew up playing like roller hockey and baseball and football, But like once I started playing guitar, people kept telling me I wouldn't be good at it. So like I just like, for some reason that made me like obsess
about it.
Oh yeah. Same thing happened with fishing.
Imagine if they told you like you weren't good at heart surgery.
That'd be different because it's like, that's like a favor.
You'd be like, I'm the best heart surgeon.
I don't know if you can do it like that. There's less stakes, It's like if you suck, it's fine. And you can still be successful if you suck.
So you learned how to play just by ear?
Well, I did have a teacher, and that guy Alex who had that guitar school, who was in the band for 10 years, happened to be an amazing teacher. We went to high school together, and he taught me a lot. Just watching him play, and he had the patience to be like, oh, here's how you do it. And he had a way of, he really taught me, like, as I look back, even more than my teachers did. He taught me.
Yeah.
Then you just kind of like figure it out on your own, and then you're just like, all you're doing is playing the guitar. That's it. That's, everyone else was out doing this and doing, like, I can't believe I got into Duquesne looking back. I did not get good grades, but I did pass the audition because there was an audition process. And I studied really hard for that. And I thought, oh, I got in. But it was just like, they were like, Michael, you're not, all those teachers told me, like, you're not cut out for
this. This isn't Juilliard, Michael.
And they were like, no, but it's a good school.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really good music school. But that's the problem. That means you got to be really good at, the science of music, which, I wasn't.
I'd be curious to see how many like famous like singer-songwriters come out of a traditional
They're
setting.
all music school dropouts. Very, not all, but very common.
Yeah, like the other ones are working at the opera and the
teachers.
symphony.
Yeah, they're ticket.
Sixth grade flute. What was the xylophone? What was the
recorder.
the recorder? Doot, 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 doot.
What a
Mr.
terrible
Perino.
American tragedy that we play the fucking recorder.
Yeah.
Like who the hell? There was one guy on Instagram that you ever see? He does like the Freebird solo on recorder. He's dope.
Never saw that.
No, but if I saw a dude playing the recorder in public, the first thing I would say would be Freebird.
Well, the problem with doing that is like you get kids playing the recorder, and their parents are so stressed out and then that makes everything worse. And then they're like, "Mommy and Daddy hate music."
Yeah.
So no one goes into it.
Yeah, CYS has been called to homes because of that issue.
Because of that stupid plastic thing.
Yeah.
Your kids do that? I'm not at that point yet.
I'm not at that point yet.
How old are your kids?
10 and 6.
I have an 8-year-old. Yeah, she plays a lot of music, but no recorder.
Yeah.
No recorder yet.
I like hope that my kids could pick up the music bug. Like I
think
was
they
such a
will.
dick student. Like I would not listen to teachers no matter what.
Well, you're ADD.
Well, they didn't diaggnose that.
Well,
back then.
I was lucky enough to be diagnosed to get the cheat code.
The cheat code.
Fucking right, dude.
See, my son decided the year before, that he wanted to try to play saxophone. And I'm like, okay, like my younger brother played saxophone for several years and was pretty good. And,
So Bill Clinton.
and I'm like, sure, man. Like, yeah, that's sure, man. And so like, I'm like, we'll rent one for first, let's go in this baby steps, And then it got to the point he'd bring it home and I'm like, you going to practice? I do. It's school. We practice at school. I'm like, you're supposed to practice at home too. We do it at school.
Yes.
And then it was like, where's your saxophone? Oh, just leave it at school.
There's no love for it.
No. And then it became like, I never see this goddamn thing. And then we went to the concert and me and my wife were so scared. We're like, we haven't seen this freaking thing in like 6 months. I'm like, this is going to be horrible. But then it turned out that all of the kids were horrible.
Oh yeah.
And it was so bad.
If you have a 9-year-old great saxophone player in your family,
It was so bad.
pull
that
him out of school.
My wife and I looked at each other at one point. We were like trying not to laugh because it was just noise for so long. Just random
Some
noises.
instruments are really tough.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
It's a hard instrument.
A violin.
Oh, yeah.
So tough.
My sister played the violin.
Give them the bass. Because the bass, anyone can sound good.
My neighbor kid plays the
Upright?
4-string upright bass.
Yeah.
Dong, dong, dong,
Problem
dong,
is you
dong.
can't go anywhere.
Yeah, well,
You
I don't think he wants to go.
No elevators. Too big.
Too heavy.
He would
What
ride.
makes the bass easier to play?
It's less strings.
Just less
They
strings.
don't hurt your fingers.
Okay.
I have a couple people who I teach, and the F chord. Over the years you teach, And there's certain things that hurt people's fingers and they won't push through it. And with the bass, you don't have as much of that. But then again, I don't really know. Everyone's different. Their hands are different. But, you could, with a guitar, it's all about, multiple notes at a time. Whereas the bass, you do double stops in bass, but more advanced people do that. But for the most part, it's one note at one time.
Yeah.
So you're just I always tell kids, it's like pushing a button. It's like a video game. Button, 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 button.
Well,
So
I think
the
that
bass-
was like whenever I would start to learn to play the guitar, it's like you got to build up the strength in your hand. Like it's like art. To me, it was like archery hunting. You need to have different muscles because the muscles you use to play the guitar aren't the same that you use to like type on a typewriter.
No, it's totally different.
And then you got to build up those calluses.
Yeah, that's a little
bit.
overrated, the callus thing. It's not like, people go through a lot harder things than pushing a steel string down a guitar. So it's okay.
I was trying to like rub them on concrete and
Nah, it's
I was trying to build up them calluses.
maybe I take them for granted.
Maybe I got really weak hand strength. Maybe
Let's
that's
see.
what it was.
Oh yeah, very weak.
Very weak.
Professional could tell.
His right hand is a lot stronger.
Wow.
You should see the right elbow.
That's good.
So like we mostly talk about business on here. And what makes it unique is like we also talk about hiring and firing and all that shit. You're a business of one, right? At this point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you just show up when you want to show up.
Oh, it's the best.
Charge what you want to charge.
Well,
Kind of.
no, I have a limit. The thing about the beauty is I'm never gonna lose money on a gig.
Yeah.
Never. It's not
Just
possible.
your time.
Yeah, it's my time, the beauty of it is it's time well spent.
Right.
I get to create, which is what I love to do.
And interact.
Interact.
At this point, the interaction's got to be pretty good for
As
you.
long as, it's always different. Depends on the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll book a show on a Monday for the next Wednesday, and I won't, I don't have time to promote it. Or not that I promote every show, because sometimes it's sometimes it's built-in entertainment kind of thing. But sometimes, there's struggles. It's not easy to do this.
No, right.
It's not like every time I show up, there's a million people just like, it ain't like that.
Yeah.
It ain't like that.
Yeah.
It could be in time, but it's weird. And there are times where it's like that. There are times where I can have a nice crowd that came to see me. But often it's like I'm there to play for the people who are already there.
Right.
I'm just the guy playing, and I'm going to give them something special. That's what I do. That's my job, is to give them something special every time. And I do.
Yeah, we've experienced that. Like there was a guy, Mike McLeod, that played every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Where's that?
In Key West. At Schooner Wharf. He was a mainstay for 34 years.
A great place to do this.
And funny story about him is Toby Keith stole one of his songs.
Stole.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
I Love This Bar by Toby Keith.
He wrote that?
He wrote Tourist Town Bar. And Jimmy Buffett has a recording studio right next to Schooner Wharf called Shrimp Boat Sound. Supposedly, Toby Keith was in town. Mike McLeod played the Tourist Town Bar song. A year later, Toby Keith recorded and released I Love This Bar. But you see that guy, he's always bitter about it because Toby made a ton of money. But
He's dead.
Yeah. And Mike
Rest in
McLeod's
peace.
alive.
Yeah.
So he's
That's the
winning.
problem with money. You can't take it with you.
Yeah, but this dude was kind of always
That's a horrible thing to do.
but this is my shit. This is what I do.
He did that.
Yeah.
Is that well known, documented?
I think he sued him. I don't know if he won or lost, but
Well, that's not good.
yeah. But just a little bar, and the guy, he lived there, and it was his life. But we always tipped him, and
Thank you.
and we went this year, and he's no longer there. He retired to Arizona. So we were there with the kids, and I gave Reese $5 to throw in the tip jar, and the
Throw
dude
10 next time.
the dude stopped. What's that?
Nothing.
Throw 10 next time.
But the dude stopped and was like, "Look, there's college people that don't understand how this works.
Most people don't know how this works.
You're raising good kids right now
Yes, you
by
are.
making them come up here.
I
and
couldn't
tip the
agree more.
musician."
That's the best thing about my job is when the kids, they can't help, because I'm not just singing and playing. I do, it's very percussive and danceable what I do, and I have a whole system. It's all live looping. I say it's like
You've been doing it for 30 fucking years.
right, but the loop thing became really part of my. I never did that before. It's become my thing because that way people can dance and I can jam and I can shred and I can create layers and stuff. But kids get it the most, and kids are the best. And like the parents that give their kids money to tip are the best.
Yeah.
He was right about that.
Dude.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and it's funny because
they love to see how they make you feel by being kind, by being appreciative of something you're doing. Because if you're doing it right, you're bearing your fucking soul every moment of the show.
yeah,
And if you're not, you're just phoning it in, and no one likes that.
Yeah.
That's actually a problem for me, because people that do that take away my business. Because, a musician, he's going to be too loud. He's going to be playing the same boring bullshit. He's going to be off key. He's going to do this. There's people who are cheese dicks about it, and I have a problem with them.
yeah, they think
Because it could be really something wonderful if it's done right.
man,
That's
I
how
wish I
feel.
was that smart of like a person to be like, oh man, this guy's off key. Like I couldn't tell.
Oh, you can tell. I'll show you.
We're gonna get an example now.
Of off key.
That sound good to you?
Sounds good. I don't know
Oh,
how
it
to
does?
pick it up back there. That sounds a little better.
Yeah, that's off key.
Sound as good as that?
That's better.
Or if you really can't tell, then you might be tone deaf. That's true. I'm serious.
Dude,
There
my
are
grandmother used to tell me I couldn't carry a tone in a bucket.
Here, hold on. Sing this note.
The last one was kind of bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hey, not
that was
everybody
not-
needs to
that
sing
was-
songs for a living. You know
listen,
what I mean?
I'm just being honest with you. Hold on. Let's try this. Let's see if you have any rhythm.
Oh shit!
Just clap along with me.
Wait, I gotta clap with that.
Clap.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Tone deaf as a motherfucker.
He's fucked.
Okay.
I listen to the lyrics more in music because I don't know the songs. Like
You good, dude. I'm just checking.
Thank you for listening. And now a brief word from our sponsor. Streamline your life with Duro Cleaner's complete pickup and delivery service. From your doorstep to their state-of-the-art cleaning facility and back, all without you lifting a finger. Get time back in your day and fresh, ready-to-go clothes. And just wait, big things are coming soon to make your experience even better. Visit DuroCleaners.com because life's better without laundry. And now, back to the show.
And guess what? Stuff like that can be learned.
Well, I've been wondering how I could get into this like minority business owner group. So maybe tone deaf is a disability that I could just fucking.
Are you? What's your minority, sir?
He's
I'm tone deaf.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. That's a good
It's my
one.
disability, disabled business owners.
Problem is, it might be a majority.
Yeah.
So, do you have any questions you would like to ask specifically?
Well, we were kind of bouncing around, and
Yeah.
a couple of them kind of came up, but now you got me all messed up
Yeah.
because
This is why we miss our destiny. We had a third party here before, and he would keep us like on
You
track.
quit?
He's remodeling a house right now. Took a sabbatical.
he took a little hightus.
Hiatus, yeah.
So you guys hate him now?
No, we love him.
You make fun of him?
Yeah, you can make fun of him.
Yeah, we do a little bit. To his face. I mean, we hope he listens, and we make fun of him a little bit every once in a while. It's funny.
I like it.
You've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Do you still, I mean, you've talked about how, sometimes you go and you've got a crowd that's there to see you. Sometimes it's not. I follow a lot of, it's not the same as musicians, but I follow a lot of comedians and stuff.
Me too.
And
I have a great story about that, actually, if you want to hear something cool.
I notice a lot of, and I appreciate the art form of it, right?
me
and it's
too,
a
yeah.
similar kind of art form. It's different, but
I was
it's
there
similar.
at the beginning of Kill Tony. I was there every week.
Oh, I love it.
So, real quick, not to
Go
interrupt
ahead,
you,
no.
but when we lived in LA, we had nothing to do on Tuesdays, Mondays, ever. So we go to the Comedy Store every week, and we look kind of cooler than we were a band, so we were cooler. We all had long hair, and we like there's this little guy, skinny dude, looks sort of like a horse, but he's like absolutely brilliant, and he has a show called Kill Tony, and we were there every week, and we would listen, and then we became super good friends with him, and we go watch WrestleMania with him, and we watched the Royal Rumble together, and he found out we were from Pittsburgh, so he loved that. And this is before he was famous, And now, of course, he's a giant star, but it was really cool because we got to see all those comedians, and we were all obsessed with comics.
Yeah.
And I still am.
Yeah,
but
Tony's awesome.
He is awesome. He's still a friend of mine. So.
So
No shit.
one of the things
Get him
I
on the
find,
show.
I wanted to have I asked him for his blessing to do the same idea as Kill Tony, but with songwriters. And he said, fine, but I just don't have the time to do it.
that would be fun.
It would be cool. Like,
would be.
it wouldn't be it would be meaner probably because people really love their songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways.
invested.
So one thing I found interesting is like even comedians that are hot, your Tony Hinchcliffes of the world, your Tom Segura's, sometimes they go out there and they eat shit.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still have times where you have to go out there and you just fucking bomb?
Like sonically, like don't play well.
Just have a bad night where you're just not feeling it, or the crowd's not feeling it, or you just have a bad night.
Yeah, but then that different from music because comedy, people have to relate to it.
Yeah.
Whereas with music, it's kind of like within us or something. Just
Tribal.
rhythm. Yeah. So I don't know if I eat shit like that. We did with the band a bit.
Okay.
There was like nights where the band would be off, but for me, I kind of, I spend all my off time kind of getting ready for all my shows. So I kind of do my very best every time I play.
Do you feel like with music, when you feel like that's coming with music, it's easier to turn it around? Where like maybe there's a song that you can play.
Comedians bombing, you can't turn it around.
Right.
Once that crowd is like,
once you've turned the crowd,
it's like trying to get your.
It's over.
Trying to get your.
I agree. Once they've turned on you, you're fucked.
And I've seen it, and I'm sure you guys have too. And it's so awkward and like it's painful. Whereas music, you're always one, Skinner song away from.
That's what I feel like.
Tom. You just gotta give them give them a little Counting Crows.
Right. That's
give
what I
them
feel
Country
like.
Roads.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think
Okay, we're
comedians-
good. But yeah, so it doesn't. If you have a good attitude in this business, it goes such a long way.
Yeah.
And I've learned that kind of the hard way. I spent years trying to be like brooding and cool, and it's better just to like you can't have a bad night if everyone's having a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're there to give them a good time, which is kind of what I've learned.
So sometimes you just got to read the crowd and be like,
Always.
hey, listen.
I spend my whole time reading every second. It's a curse.
Yeah, but like it's with comedians, I think that when they take a dig at them, they like double down with their most aggressive approach.
They
like,
get too pissed off.
Yeah, they get very aggressive.
They don't realize how low their stakes are.
But like you said, you have like alternative angles. Like if they're like booing a certain song in your brain,
I've only had that happen once, and it was like a Pitt, West Virginia thing.
Played Country Roads.
Yeah, which is a great song. Like, who cares? A good song.
But see, then you could turn it around and you could play Sweet Caroline. and
That's
let them
exactly
yell,
what I
"Go
do. I play them
Pitt,"
together
go
when I do
Pitt.
that. And people love it. Makes them happy.
Right.
Gives the bar, they buy more drinks. They make more money. Everyone's happy. And that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I never even thought about how many like.
That's the only time, though. Nobody really boos musicians too often.
Yeah, you'd have to be a
Because
real
you're out there,
asshole.
like, most people are like, holy shit, this dude's just walking in here, setting up all of his crap. He's playing his heart out. He's singing his heart out by himself. It takes balls.
We just showed that I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
I don't know.
So
We can
like,
work on it.
Who am I to boo?
But
Yeah.
the thing about an off night, the worst thing that can happen is sometimes if I have too many shows in a row, because like in the summer, I'm pretty darn busy.
Yeah.
If my voice isn't feeling well, that's where a lot of the stress of my life comes in. If I'm like, didn't get enough sleep or whatever, not feeling well, that's the stress is that. And usually it's all I put it on myself. Nobody puts it on me, but I put a lot on myself. Like I'll do vocal warm days where my voice is tired. I will like spend the whole day. I'll be playing at some corner bar in fucking, Beachview. Nobody cares, but I care.
Yeah.
Because that's me putting
your
myself
product.
out there.
Yeah.
I can't do it I have to do it my best. So it's very important to me.
Do you have a routine? What do you do to try
Fish.
to prepare yourself?
I fish.
It fishes a lot.
fish.
He's
fish
the
quite
music. You are the music.
I'm musician gone fishing.
What's your
but
Instagram
musician
handle?
_ gone fishing.
Yeah.
But physically, I do, like if the voice is tired, I have like a lot of stuff I do. I do vocal warm-ups. I do these things called singing straws, which are new or really cool. They work your high register. I have them in the car. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigs. I try not to eat bullshit, especially before I sing, maybe after. And I do a lot. It's a lot of care, especially the older I get, because I do there's some high notes in my songs. So.
Yeah, it's funny because like the last 2 weeks I've been plugged up.
Yeah.
So I've been like more like Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
And I think about that, like when I'm sick, I'm like, how do these guys go on tour for like
It's very difficult.
16 weeks?
Oh, those guys, like for a big, imagine the pressure they feel.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel pressure in, these smaller venues. And I've had the same thing happen in bigger venues on bigger tours and stuff. But now that this is, you always want to do your best, whatever you're doing.
Well, yeah.
That's the job.
Yeah, like I press the best pants in town.
Whatever it is, that's the job. Do your best. And when something takes you out of it, it can be very stressful.
Yeah, I get nervous like when other people press my pants because I'm like, my customers expect a certain, like I do it a certain way.
It's like cleaning the kitchen. Like,
yeah,
I clean it.
right.
She does okay. I do better. I do better. I wish I didn't. I wish she did better because then I wouldn't have to do it.
We'll clip that into a reel. We'll send it to her.
She knows how it is.
So you're solo, you do it yourself, sole proprietor, business owner.
Yeah.
So you've got to run the business side of this as well as
I have other people do like all the books and shit.
okay, but you're booking your gigs.
Well, I'd say I book 70% of my gigs, and I have a bunch of different booking agents that book.
You have booking agents that handle that.
Yeah,
kind of
they'll
stuff.
book me bigger stuff.
Okay.
Like, which is great, and they're wonderful, and I appreciate them. But I still book. I just send a text.
Yeah.
Because they're my friends. That's the beauty of it. These are my friends. And I do well if they do well. And I always say, like, sure, I have my guarantee, but like if you have a shit night and you're someone who books me all the time, we'll work it out. I don't want you, because that's how we both stay in business.
Yeah.
I'm not there to like just take the money. I'm there to like grow
You
something.
want to come back next time.
And I want them to do
well.
well, because if they do well, they can afford to pay me my rate. So, but usually it doesn't happen that way. But like, because most of these small businesses that we deal with, or I deal with, are they're just awesome fucking people.
Yeah.
So they're my friends, and it's great. I can just text them, hey, let's do June, or give me, I'll text them in January. We'll book the whole year, and I can't wait to see them. They're my friends.
How does it typically work? Do you get paid? Do you get door? Do you get a flat rate?
Do any of that. All guarantee.
Okay.
So I used to do door deals, and bands, that's good for bands, because bands, see, when you have a band, you got 4, 5, 6, whatever people who can all get excited, all get online, all promote together. You got, right? If it's just me, first of all, I don't like self-promotion that much. It's not my thing. I do maybe in person, but like to get online and tout, that's just not me. And I spent years doing it. And I mean, by the time we were big on MySpace, nobody cared anymore. Then we get big on Facebook, nobody cared anymore. And then we're like, okay, we're not doing this again. But for me, I know what I'm making every time I go somewhere. Like I said, though, if somebody's, and usually it's not cash, but sometimes it's cash. And like I said, if they have a shit night, I'll just stop early and I'll say, hey, give me whatever. And then I also get quite a bit of tips too, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that's like crazy to think that like you're in business for yourself, right? But you're also in business with these people that have these establishments.
And I've seen so many of them come and go.
Yeah.
So many. And it's tough. It's tough for them. They got, think about it. They got to pay their people and pay me. And, quite frankly, a lot more than they're paying their people at any given night.
Yeah. The restaurant and venue business is a tough business.
Oh my God. Restaurant business is.
It's very, very difficult.
But, but I'm there to keep people there, make them more money. And that's important to me, because that's why, doing your best is important. A musician can drive business out if they suck.
Yeah.
I see it. I've been there. I will leave if you suck.
Yeah.
I will not listen. I will not, because you're out there to have dinner with your family.
Yep.
The beauty of what I do is I get to turn. It's like Rocky IV, dude. I turn these people.
Yeah.
They're all chanting. I get by the end.
Yeah, and you're playing such a nice, like now when you're a one-man band playing your guitar,
Volume.
you can control that.
So important.
Because I see it all the time. Like we're out and there's live music, and it depends on the environment. Like if it's after midnight and I'm getting after it, crank the fucker up. Let's go.
Right. That's the beauty of what I'm doing is like, you got a drummer in there. All of a sudden it's too loud.
You can't turn down a drummer.
And you're getting that whole energy, and I can push it to as big or as small as you want it.
Yeah, I watched you when you were messing with our guitar on the wall over there. You were bending the strings, and I'm like, man, he could turn this acoustic into an electric guitar if he wanted to.
That's what I do. Shred.
I can't do it. I tried.
Well,
I tried to
you
be
actually probably can.
I tried to be Mike Lindner. You can't.
You could be me.
So like when you go, at like right now, like you're sitting here, you're 40 and you're doing
39.
this. Oh, you're not 40 yet?
No, yeah, I'm working on it.
I think my wife got held back then.
No, I was the youngest person in our grade. She's what, November?
February.
Yeah, so she just turned 40.
Yeah, she did just, yeah. No,
I'm August, so I was supposed to be in the grade below, but they...
But like you've done this your whole life now. You said you had one job.
It's crazy. Well, I was a busboy at Max and Irma's for like 2 months. Until the dude, I was finally able to grow a beard, and the fucking dude walks out with like one of those... He's like, Michael, we can't have you walking around like that. And he shaved me in front of all the employees, and I was like, I can't do this again. And that was a wrap on that.
By the
Nowadays, that would be like, I could get on like...
Yeah, you could have just owned Max and Irma's. You could have been playing guitar every night at Max and Irma's.
dude.
Literally be a dream come true.
Mike Lindner Irma's.
The best restaurant in Pittsburgh
would have been
history. I love
safe.
that place.
Dude.
But so
are they still around?
there's one in Monroeville.
Yeah, the one in Monroeville's still around.
Shady Side closed?
Oh, maybe 15, 20 years ago, that long ago.
See, I don't believe that because I'm not old enough to know something that's closed.
Well, maybe it's 17 years, but it's been a long... And there was one downtown
There was
with a
one
giant
in,
burger. Remember
there was
that?
one on,
Harmonville.
there was one in Route 8.
There was one in
RIDC.
Park.
That was the one I
Yeah.
worked at. And then it became that Periwinkle's for like a week.
A week.
Yeah.
That was a bad move. But
When your family's got money
and then
for after something.
I was also a school bus driver for a couple of years, which was cool as hell.
But your family owned a bus company, right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts, man.
It was,
I mean, you didn't have to interview for that job.
No, I got nepotized in, bro.
Yeah, you were just like,
It was a front for the band. Okay?
you could turn around
A
and
little
say
bit.
like, I was just doing a favor. It wasn't even
No,
a
I
job.
took that job. I mean, that's the most... You can't fuck around in that job.
No.
You're taking people's children to school. It's
Dude.
not...
I have a ton of respect
It's not what people think. You're up at 5 a.m, getting the bus. That was serious, and it taught me a lot.
What's crazy is my neighbor, I bought your parents out.
Aaron?
Yeah.
What a great guy.
And I have a ton of respect for that dude because like,
Great guy. You just dropped this on me now?
yeah, well.
And he's right next door down the
Yeah.
street? My dad drives for him.
For real?
My dad...
The guy I bought the dry cleaners off drives for him.
My dad sold him the business and was like, let me work for you. He's like, sure. So he does all the Fox Chapel, like, sports. He does, like, he doesn't wake up early. He's like, I'm not waking up early. But he does the activities, so he gets home late. He loves it.
But like, I think about like, you have to be a great human to be in that business because like,
Talk
there's
about
no
a tough
fucking
business.
around in that business.
I loved being the first adult of the day for these kids.
Yeah.
And giving them kindness and whatever. Because a lot of times, it would be inner city, and these teachers didn't give a fuck about them. They weren't nice to them.
It's a good
Especially
point.
because some of these kids weren't the best kids, but if they like you, they're going to be good around you. And they liked me. So I loved it. I think it probably prepped me to be a dad, probably.
One of the things I notice the most about bus drivers is you don't see different faces. It's the same person because they're like, I got to get up. I got to drive these kids to
yeah.
school. Like, it's their fucking
Can't
purpose.
I did it for a long time. I think I missed one time, and it was bad. It was, I got fired from the run because of it. Like the parents were like, we don't want him back because he missed today. And I was
really?
like,
Oh, wow.
of course. So I did an easier one, but still, like, I can't, it was, you got to do a good job. And,
Yeah, so the guy I bought the dry cleaners from, he was done with dry cleaning, but he wasn't ready to retire, and now he drives bus.
that's a good job.
Like I don't think the people appreciate it as much.
They don't. They're always pissed off at them. Although, I see it on my own kid's bus. Like all the parents, like, oh, this bus driver. It's like, dude, he's got your precious cargo. You better thank him. Give him a card. You give your fucking garbage man a card, so he takes all
That's
your
what
crap.
I'm saying. Like
Nobody very, very rarely.
And then they deal with, not to mention they deal with all the assholes that are trying to pass the bus and, they keep those kids safe all day.
Oh,
I
it's
go to
so
the bus
nerve
stop.
wracking. Like, too. I remember like driving in this inner city when there was snow on the or like I got into an accident once with 8 kids in the vehicle. Like, and there was nothing I could do about it.
it was just a helicopter
there was-
immediately.
No, it wasn't a bad accident, but it was, I hit another car was hit, and it's very stressful. So glad I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. We definitely try to, like, Christmas time, end of the year, take care of the bus driver.
Yes, and the music. I like you. You tip drivers and musicians, bro. That's
We're
great.
realists in our world here.
Take care of people. Yeah.
So it's funny because I had no clue what a bus driver did because I went to school at Riverview and
Now, mind you,
walked.
you realize when Like Aaron turned this into an empire. Like Mill Transit was not like
We'll
ABC.
get him on. We're gonna get him on. Let him talk about
Aaron is a great businessman.
Yeah.
Now we had Mill, and it was what it was, but Aaron turned it into like something incredible.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it wasn't like that before. It was like a couple buses, of my dad's friends driving for him.
It's funny that you're a fisherman because behind your dad's bus garage is like one of the greatest trout holes on that whole run now.
Yeah, I don't really trout fish.
Well, what they did was when Turnpike did all their work, they repositioned the creek back there.
Oh.
Creek. I'm going to say it both ways so nobody can call me out.
Yeah.
So like that.
It's creek. It's not crick.
And what do you say?
Creek.
I mean, it's creek. There's 2 E's.
And he is a wordsmith.
I mean, I was born here.
And you're a Yinzer.
Yeah. Well, I just said it both ways, just not get in trouble. Now I got in trouble.
You're not in trouble.
So, but behind there's like a strip where they like rebuilt the turnpike.
With a nice deep hole.
And so they stock the stream there, and then you can just walk behind that bus garage and just bang them.
I can, because he told me I can.
I can.
And he must like you.
I don't know if he likes me, but I know that there's a partial for sale that we've just been fishing back there for years.
Nice.
And like you can
spot burn. I didn't do it. Spot burn.
Bang them back there. Oh man, now it's out there.
Now you're in trouble.
Opening day of trout, April fucking 38th.
Wait, that's all delayed harvest, I believe. That's all.
No, above the golf courses. From there to like the top of 910, like Crossroads. But
listen, grown men shouldn't be trout fishing.
Why?
It's trout, bro. It's for children.
So what do you fish?
Muskie. Walleye.
Yeah, he fishes. He catches fish. This big
fish. The rivers.
Oh yeah, around here.
Oh yeah. I go up to New York. We do a lot of lake trout, steelhead. Do a lot of muskie trips.
So your fish eat my fish. Is what you're saying.
I love to trout fish too. It's fun, but it's not. I mean, when you catch, I mean, there's just levels, just like anything else.
They're stocked fish. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not
like
really.
Kennywood fishing.
It's
which has gotten sold today. Did you hear that?
I did. I think it was yesterday.
Dollywood bought Kennywood.
It'll probably be a lot better. Dollywood knows how to run a bit. I mean, Kennywood was terrible last year. Yeah. You know what was good at Kennywood was that Fright Night, though. Did you guys go to that? Super fun.
I haven't been to Kennywood in years.
I haven't been to Kennywood since I could drive.
I'm a roller coaster. I like a roller coaster.
Yeah. I went to Kennywood we had like a bus.
You never took Sarah to Kennywood?
No, we've never been to Kennywood.
She like that kind of stuff?
I don't know.
It's a great place to go.
I'll have to ask her.
I mean, you have kids, dude. Go take your kids to Kennywood. It's fun.
Yeah, but I just think that Kennywood is like it's just scummy to me. Like it's just shitty. Maybe it'll be better now. Dolly's running it.
I don't know. Do you like roller coasters? Are you afraid of
I've ride roller coasters,
okay.
yeah.
We go to Cedar Point at least once a year. We love it.
My dad was funny when I was a kid growing up. My dad would go to Kennywood Day. It was Oakmont Verona has a Kennywood Day.
Yeah.
And we would ride all the roller coasters, and then he'd be like, "Here's $10. We'll see you later." That's all he wanted to do.
$10 would get you half a funnel cake.
Yeah, $10 is meaningless.
Yeah, back then I could just hang out, and play like
I could
play 10 games.
I get the nostalgia for Kennywood. I loved watching that Kennywood tape when we were kids.
Yeah.
But like here's the whatever.
Rick Seaback, we're trying to get him on the show.
I just ran into him. I got a picture with him.
He's on the hook.
We just messaged him.
He's on the hook.
We're really nicest dude you'll ever meet.
We're trying to put a date together. We're gonna have him on the show.
It'd be a great guest for you guys.
Yeah.
Super nice. More interesting than me.
No, you have a unique perspective that like I think that a lot of people that listen to our show could
I'm a rambler, dude.
Yeah. And a gambler. And a music man.
I am a gambler, but not like all my money goes into the river. I never gamble.
So I'd go out fishing when I was younger with my dad, and we were never very good at it, but we used to go. And I haven't gone in a long time because we were terrible at it, so it wasn't very fun. We just basically sat next to the creek.
That's fun too.
Yeah.
Two E's, you hear that? What a pronunciation.
He's in his natural setting.
But we all had an opportunity to buy a little cottage in Sagertown up on French Creek.
Oh, the best. One of the best fisheries in the state.
Creek.
Yeah, French Creek.
Dude, French Creek is legit, dude. They, muskie, walleye.
That's what I heard. And
excellent fishery, like clean.
Apparently, it's very deep, right behind our creek, or right behind our camp, and I did it on purpose.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And but like right off our deck, we're 10 feet.
I have this book
it,
from like,
so.
it's like from the 50s or 60s about fishing. And it, it talks, like it's got everything you could ever think about, although it's all like, none of it works anymore. But I mean, some of it does. Tips. But one of the things it says is the best creek in Pennsylvania for muskie is French Creek.
Really?
That's what it says. Now, I've heard of some big ones come out of there. But that's a great fishery.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
like
doing a little
Meadville?
bit of that this year. Yeah, we're about 20 minutes north of Meadville.
And then you got Erie's close. We're
about
Erie's
40 south of Meadville, 40 minutes south of Meadville.
You want to have a good time, go
Erie.
fish in Erie. Go, it's the best.
I might only trout fish, but I will.
steelhead
I will
trout.
outfish any man.
You will?
Yeah.
Are you a good fisherman?
Yeah. It's about. I think there's more than just like throwing the line out. You got to feel it.
What do you mean you'll outfish any man?
I feel like if we were in a room right now with fish, I'd catch more than you.
No.
Well, let's
Have
just
you
say
seen-
he's
have you
probably
seen what I
better.
catch?
Oh, I see what you catch.
Do you fish?
I do fish.
Well,
yeah.
then you probably would. I don't know. I'm not really competitive about it because it's too hard of a thing to be competitive. I used to golf, and the beauty of fishing is it's just about the moment.
Yeah.
For me, it's the moment. Now, I don't think you'd catch more fish than me because there's no fucking way you put more time on the water than me.
Right.
There's no way
Yeah, in a window
that you
of
put
time.
more money into fishing. I mean, I've sunk a fortune into it.
That's what guys say about golfing. They're like, I'm so good at
Golf's
golfing.
too hard.
They-
It's just too hard.
It's about putting the time and the money and the effort.
I have
in.
too few good moments, and I used to love to golf, but it's just too hard.
Now, do you prefer? Do you stand on the shore? Do you go out there? Do you have a boat?
No, I had a boat very briefly, and then it was gone.
I think what's funny about fishing.
I like it all. I mean, I do go on my friends' boats quite a bit, but I love to fish from shore, from docks, from go on my waders, everything. Boat's the best.
There's like two.
Boat's the best.
Of course.
There's like 2 points like where fishing and golf come together, right? And
I have a theory of this,
stick with
too.
me. It's like when someone hits a golf ball, they know what to do when the club's contacting the ball, and when someone sets a hook, they know exactly what to do when they feel it.
You're right about that. They
And,
know
like,
what to do.
There's a moment there
Here's the problem, though. Like, golf's all about follow through.
in repetitive motion.
Fishing is not. What happens if you follow through with a cast? Do it. So fishing rods were designed to spring, right? That's why they have action.
Yeah.
So when really what you're doing is you're giving it the force, and then the rod is doing the work and tossing it out. Whereas in golf, if you do that, what happens?
Nothing.
So that's the problem with me. Once I started fishing all the time, I couldn't swing anymore because I'd be like, wait, that's not how you're supposed to do it. So it kind of ruined me for golf.
So is fishing in the cast or is it the set of the hook?
Like what? The glory?
I think the feel is when it like
The glory
especially
is the
if you're like-
same. A great golf shot and setting hook, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Great feeling.
But you need to know that feel. And that's the hard part with kids. Like you talk about like fishing as a kid.
Well,
Like
trout aren't going to give you that feeling.
wow.
Dude, that big
You just
hook set,
well, if you hook set it, it's gonna be behind you.
catfish, like a big 40-pound flathead.
Yeah.
That, I'm just getting excited.
We used to fly fish for stripers at Moraine.
Oh, I go out there all the time.
And I compared that to like hooking onto a Volkswagen.
That is a great
Because
time.
It would
dude.
just
Lake
run.
Arthur at night.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've spent so much time doing
You
that.
caught too many big fish. That's why you don't trout
never
fish
enough,
anymore.
Never enough. I do trout. I will, dude. I'll go. I do it all.
Behind the bus garage.
I do it all. I do bass fishing. I do trout fishing. I do fly fishing. I do cat fishing. I do everything. Just really like what we call power fishing is my favorite thing to do, which is just jigging. I throw like a big jig and try to trick the fish into like a response rather than I'm not a very patient person, so I'd say 99% of my catches are toss, sink, reel, like getting them, reaction bite. They call it. So that's kind of my thing. Whereas
They say big bait.
trout fishing is just, fly fishing is great. The fight, you can't really beat it, but it's that motion of just,
repetitive.
like I'll just fall asleep standing in my waders, until you get a 20-pound brown trout, then you're like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of time, whereas like, when I fish the way I like to fish, which is like the jigging, I always feel like something's about to happen. Doesn't mean it is, but I never stop that, we call it, believe, cast and believe.
Yeah.
Believe, whatever.
Yeah.
So you just always feel like
That's trout fishing in a nutshell.
you always feel like you're there. But, with fly fishing,
So would you rather be a professional fisherman or a professional music?
Fisherman. That's the curse of my life. It's like my dreams came true, and then I started fishing, and I was like, wow, I'd like to get paid for this. I mean, no, I'm happy with what I'm doing, but it would be really cool I would like to teach people to fish, like just for fun, just because it's like it's a beautiful thing to do.
You'd be a great camp companion for fishing because you could play the guitar.
Dude, what else do you need? Campfire?
Cook
fishing?
baked beans. You're good.
Yeah, all that shit. I cook.
So I met Mike whenever, first time I met you, actually, Sarah had the candle studio. And she was like, hey, my friend said we can come over and listen to him jam. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to date you. Like,
You guys weren't dating yet.
Like, we were just dating. First,
Okay.
like, maybe month.
Oh, you don't
2
want
months.
no band guys.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we go in, the door gets locked behind us. And I'm like, well, I'm either in or I'm out.
The whole band there?
Yeah, you guys had the whole band. You had carpets on the floor, on the wall. It was like a whole thing. And
That was a fun place. I like
yeah,
that
you
place.
guys were jamming to Restless. Yeah. That was like the song I remember. And I was like, and I love that song.
Was there 4 or 3 of us?
I think there was all 4 of you. Because what was that?
No, that would have been 3.
2 first names?
Mark Andrew.
Mark
well,
Andrew.
it's got a middle name.
Oh,
Mark
3
Glinka.
names? 3 first names?
He goes by that for some reason.
But
God bless him.
yeah, he's a good dude.
He's the best. I love him.
So where were we before we got onto this my wife used to want to sleep with you thing?
In first grade,
Yeah, she's advanced.
No, he's a rock star, dude.
He's a rock star.
I was
dude.
not then.
Dude, like maybe spell out the misconception of
I'm
like,
just thrilled to hear someone had a crush on me.
yeah. Should we throw the
Still,
hair?
that makes me happy.
I said,
Now,
hey,
my best friend Michael Weiss was so in love with your wife in second grade that I was just out.
true good friend.
I was like, I can never like her. I probably didn't admit it to him, but he was so in love with her. I still talk to him every day, to this day.
That's so funny. Young love, man.
She wouldn't have been into him. I couldn't have told him that. Now I can't wait to tell him that she was into me though. Because then in 7th grade, he like
You won.
it happened
He's
again.
like, what the fuck, man?
She liked me.
He won.
Yeah, not you.
Coffee talk tomorrow.
Yeah, he lives in Colorado.
Tell him to stay there.
He likes it there.
So what's some common misconceptions? What's the misconceptions about the music industry that nobody knows and nobody wants to talk about? That
Well, I'd say the biggest one is that you're either a famous rock star or you do it for fun. You know, there's no in between, and there's quite a bit of in between. It's all in between, you know.
oh yeah, we kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah,
like, a
99%.
working musician.
Nobody thinks that is even an idea to do, and I'd say that's definitely the biggest so everyone's always like, "What do you do? So what's your job? What's your real job?" And I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, because you think of a musician,
my
like,
real-
what's your next gig? What are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna get bigger? How are you gonna?
I don't know, you know,
and it's like, no, I'm good. I'm good
I'm
where
just
I'm at.
playing music. Look, the moments, like, there's still moments that climb the ladder for me, like where I, play in front of 5,000 people, or I do, the Pittsburgh Play stuff I do, which is great, which is where I get to play in front of a ton of people, or the 28 North show. There's still, or somebody likes a song who's got a radio station, and I get an email they're playing it. There's still all that. I just don't work it.
Yeah.
I don't work it. It works itself, and if it happens, cool. But right now, I can at least, like I said, keep the lights on and have a nice life. And I mean, what do I want out of life? I want to fish.
That's
I want to fish, dude. Like, I don't want to be like on the road in a van for my whole life. I don't want that. I did that. I was like, oh my God, I can't look out the fucking window anymore.
It's so funny that you say that because, like, I think about my personal life. Like, I worked for my family when they had 13 stores in their dry cleaning business, and like that would be a goal for most dry clean owners to have 13 stores
Yeah.
and like succeed.
Sounds great.
But like right now, I'm like, that's not a good life when you have a family. Like, you can't be there for your family and be there enough for your business. Something's got to give. So like what I do now is like we just do all home delivery. We've downscaled it. Like the revenue's shrunk, everything shrunk. But like I feel better in my own skin, and there's a price tag to put on that.
My dad taught me 3 Saturdays, 4 Sundays. That's what your life should be. He taught me that, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right or not, but that's a good goal to have. 3 Saturdays, 4 Sundays. How do you make that happen?
With your family?
No, your life is 3 Saturdays and 4 Sundays.
Yeah, well, the important things come in those days.
No,
yeah.
no. Let me explain.
Wait, yeah, I
Your
want to
week.
understand.
So your normal person's week is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. My week is 3 Saturdays, 4 Sundays. I'm just enjoying every day. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
That's what he taught me to do.
Yeah, that's,
He said, and that doesn't mean you don't work. It just means every fucking day should feel like the weekend.
right.
I mean, you got to enjoy your life.
It's crazy.
You know,
'cause
so he always taught me 3 Saturdays, 4 Sundays.
So we started a 4-week work
I like
week,
that.
and last 2 Mondays I didn't work, and it's been different. You wake up, the coffee tastes better, get kids on the bus, take the dog for a walk.
Yeah, also like if you're lucky, your overhead.
Yeah, the
less
shit.
overhead.
You get the
get
shit
rid of the
done.
shit you don't need.
Yeah, and it's funny because I found that on Mondays I get more of the shit done I needed to get done on Monday. Like, because you're your own boss, right? You're your own boss. You're your own boss. No one's telling you what you need to do. You know what you need to do.
I know what I need to do.
But like on Mondays, then we're not working. Our production's not up and running. I can now pick and choose the important shit that needs to get done without all the other shit getting in the way.
I do all my booking when I'm out on the boat, like with my friends fishing. I get, for some reason, I don't know what it is.
It's life.
I look at my phone and there's 10, everyone wants to book me when I'm
That's why I said all the business gets done on a golf course.
Yeah,
because as soon as you
true.
go golfing, the phone rings.
Because you're bringing good energy into your world. I guess maybe that's what it is. I mean, they say that's a thing.
It's hard for Jerry
Smarter
to
people
appreciate
than
this
me-
during
Smarter
tax
people than
season
me
where he's
believe
like,
in that,
Yeah, right now
power-
I'm running 7 Mondays.
But you're an accountant. That's a tough job.
Yeah, and it's
But-
tax season.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm running.
it's like I was just at the dentist. Verona Dental Care, they're great.
Yeah, shout out.
And, their job's not easy. Shit's tough, everyone, and no one's job's easy. I mean, my job can be very dark in the winter times. That's another thing. It's tough.
Well, you said you're 39. That's the thing. Like,
Tough to get business.
I think at 20, everybody thinks like, I want to do this because it'll be easy.
Nothing's easy.
And at 30, you're like, well, fuck.
I know people
Here I am.
who have been handed all the money in the world, but who what it doesn't matter it ain't easy for them either. It doesn't matter what you do. It's not easy.
Right. I think that's like good advice. Like, not that we're in the advice business, because if you're watching this show for advice, fuck, you should have tuned out 48 episodes ago.
I mean, there might be some easy jobs. I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah, but you had to work hard to get to there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think the key to having an easy job is to, like what you just said about 3 Saturdays and 4 Sundays, is to find a job that you love,
It's true.
and then it just comes easy.
It's such a cliche, but it's true.
yeah.
If you do something that you love to do, then it's easy.
You see it everywhere. I see it all the time. There's like you're miserable server and you're a really happy server. Or you're miserable, whatever. Or that's like you could, and I tell my daughter all the time, attitude it's everything.
Isn't that the funnest
What
part?
else is there?
And there's going to be days where you're just not feeling it. You're
But I have
tired.
days,
I mean,
and as a musician, I have days where I'm like, oh God, I got to go play at some dude's backyard for his wife who's going to want to hear country songs I don't know.
yeah,
That's the toughest thing.
yeah.
When people ask me to play songs I don't know, and I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you.
How do you do that? Like, do you have to like learn these songs?
You're doing work.
That's the worst part. I hate doing that.
Yeah, like
I
if
really
you're-
do.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I got to memorize lyrics, and as you get older, that gets harder.
I bet.
Like,
When
hey,
we're
Mike-
young, you probably know every Green Day, every song, every word to every song you loved as a kid.
you
We
just
don't-
mumble it if you don't. But if
but
you're
I
on the
can't-
stage, you
I
can't.
won't do that.
You can't.
I can't fake things, and I could read it, but I don't want to do that either. I like to get. So I'll chart. If sometimes
that's-
I'll do weddings, not too often.
That's a big turnoff for me when like they got an iPad on a stand.
So I have my phone there, but it's because it runs my PA. I won't. And look, if somebody really wants to hear a song and they're super nice, once
and they
in a
tip
while,
$150.
sure. But I try not to even talk about the tips because then I look like a schlub. I'm out there. They're already. The musicians that talk too much about tipping. Look, if you want to tip me, it's because I did a really good job. But if I ask you to tip me, I don't do that.
I just always in my life thought that if you're gonna put $1.25 in a jukebox to hear a song, and there's a live musician that's playing the same music that you like,
Tipping is like
he's worth at least $1.25.
tipping is weird. It's like the wave at a ball game. It's like either no one does it or everyone does it, and it's weird because it's just a weird thing to see. But that's why, there was times in this part of my career where I was like, I felt like I was only good if people were tipping me, and then you have this mental battle. Like, oh, they don't like you because they're not tipping you, and that's really unhealthy. Because that's not how people show their appreciation.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, here's money. Like, that's just not real. I mean, sure, it's nice, but I'm just lucky to get that. I don't need, I if I needed the tips, I wouldn't do that. Like, I'm saying the tips are nice, but like if you're doing it for tips, then there's a problem.
So you're up there and somebody wants to hear a song and you don't know the
Happens a lot.
right. If you're going to play that song, how do you know how to play that song?
Well, if I don't know it, I just don't play it.
Okay.
Usually that's kind of,
because I've seen people up there and I feel like, how the hell do they know how to play it?
well, it's interesting because if you've never heard a song, even if you have your iPad, it's tough
It's
to
not
just
even necessarily
figure
that
it
you
out.
haven't heard it. Like if it's a radio song, you've heard it, but they don't have the music there.
Well, I think usually when stuff like that happens, it's kind of like the magician's code of it would be, because we love Penn and Teller in my house. Watch out with your kids. The best show to watch.
Yeah.
Fool us. Anyways, there's tricks and there's things the common themes that we find, chord progressions that are very common, and a lot of times, a guitar player can play these chords, and sure, it might sound like good enough for the audience, but like they're just making the chords up.
Okay.
So there's a lot of bullshit that goes into that. That's why I don't do it. I don't like to, like, if I don't know a song, I'm just gonna be like, I usually get that's like my one of my weakest spots. When people ask for songs, I just like, I could be better at that.
Well,
It's like sometimes I get pissed. I'm notorious for that, and I'm trying to do better at it because, like, as a songwriter, in the depths of my soul, like, I don't want anyone to ask me to play anyone else's songs. But sometimes you got to play the game. And
I've always been a big fan of, like, if someone's playing live music, I don't request a song. Like,
yeah, most people don't. Most people, if you're good, they just want to hear you do.
I take it back to like the Subway approach. Like when you go into Subway and there's a heavy guy making sandwiches, you ask him what his favorite sandwich is,
Yeah.
and you're gonna like that sandwich.
Well, yeah, we're curating the night.
Yeah, I want to hear your set. Like I want to appreciate your art.
Yeah.
And your set is your art.
Most people are like that from like 6 to 7. But once like it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night and they're drunk, they just want to hear the fucking
Freebird!
I absolutely, and I play it every time, and I play the whole thing. And
You're like, I learned Freebird.
Oh no, I've been playing Freebird my whole life. That's my favorite song.
Yeah.
I always say I don't joke about Freebird. I'm here because of Freebird. Like my first concert I ever went to was Skinner, and I love that band, and I love Freebird, and it's not funny.
You didn't.
I'm serious. And I play it, and I loop it, and I go get my electric, and I just blow them the fuck away. And
I love when guys talk about Skinnerd and they say, well, you've never seen Skinnerd. And I'm like, me and fucking 99% of the population.
Well, actually, I think we have. First of all,
The real Skinnerd, though. Like,
well, yeah, because they died before
that's
we were
what
born.
I mean. Like,
But like,
people.
what are they? They're their music. And Johnny's probably been in the band longer than Ronnie at this point.
Yeah.
His brother. I mean, they're doing all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like old timers will be like, you never even seen the real fucking Skinner. And I'm like,
I'd
no,
be like, you have. That sucks.
you're getting old, buddy. You'll die before me.
Yeah,
hopefully.
exactly.
What's your favorite song to play live?
Freebird.
Is it really?
You mean like cover song?
Just any
Usually,
song.
like that would be whatever recent one I've learned.
You have some really good songs. In
Yeah.
your,
I mean, I always like to play my shit, but sometimes people don't really want to hear your shit. Sometimes people are in a setting where they want to hear Petty, and you have to kind of get that under your.
Yeah.
That takes a while to be like when you spend your whole youth playing your music for people who are excited about it. When I first got into this, like from the band to this, and I was like, people would ask me to play stuff. I was so I was the worst because I was so insulted. But the truth is, nobody gives a shit. Nobody knows my shit.
Check your emotions at the door.
It took me years to be able to do that. It would kill me. It would really hurt my feelings because I was like, why don't they want to hear my stuff? And you realize is people want to hear stuff that's familiar.
Yeah, it's
So
the
you
familiarity.
learn. So I love playing Tom Petty. I love playing Beatles songs. I love playing like Dylan songs. I like everything. The Grateful Dead, Fish. I do a lot. There's a lot of jamming at my shows. Like a lot of like a loop where I just shred and get people to dance. It's like vibe stuff. So I do a lot of that.
Yeah,
and that's all original because it's like I'm writing it in that moment. But and then to answer your question though, I really like whatever. If I learned a song recently, like I just learned "Dirty Work" by Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Who I'm like really, really into right now. Like, and so anything I've like that's kind of fresh and I haven't played a billion times is nice too.
Yeah. It's fun to be. I always like having the microphone at events. So like if I'm emceeing an event or if I'm like organizing an event, I like to have the microphone because now I can control the tempo of the event. So I think a musician, you can control the tempo.
I can, but I don't think I'm like I feel like more of a servant, dude. I don't think of it like as like the king. I feel like I'm serving kings. That's how I feel about it because
you're getting paid to do it.
No, I want to give them. I want to make sure, you know, if I'm going to be taking that much sensory overload, whatever, if I'm going to be that involved in your night, I want to please. I don't want to piss you off. I want to, you know. So and I do sometimes piss people off, but it's usually not on purpess. Like
you start looking at it different now that you're a dad because you're like, I know how much a babysitter costs.
No, I still just do my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at everything differently as a dad. Right? I mean, everything's totally different.
Yeah, changes everything.
Yeah, you got a little mouth to feed now. And you wouldn't want it any other way.
It's a good way to look at it.
I mean, I couldn't imagine it any other way. All I want.
You said
she's 8.
She's 8.
Yeah.
That's all I need now. You know?
Yeah.
It's the best, right?
She go fishing with you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She went the other day. She caught a walleye.
That's awesome.
A couple days ago.
She's like a real fisher. I'm a fake fisherman.
She's getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. She's not the best fisherman I've ever met, but she's better than you.
She's getting there.
She's better than you.
She's caught some fish, man. She's got some big fish.
She's the same age as my daughter. Like we
Second grade.
Yeah, we went through that all together a little bit.
I remember.
Yeah.
Too fast, all of it.
And
that's the thing you never think about, like how you're gonna feel like as you watch them grow up. Like I was like, it's like getting this, keeping it alive for keep them alive. And then all of a sudden you're like, I miss things. Yeah. I'm excited about things, but like
my favorite part is like looking at the parts where like it's just like I didn't do anything today and I'm still their hero.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Like, and even when you had a shit day, you feel like, or you fucked something up royally and somebody just reamed you out or you just like ate shit.
Yes.
And you get home and you're still their hero.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't see that.
They don't see it. It doesn't matter.
And that's they appreciate us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just happy to be. They're happy that we're there. That's like when you say about that rock star mentality. Like, yeah, dude, you could be a rock star.
If I knew I'd love being a dad this much, I would have done this earlier.
Yeah.
I would have said bye to the band because it was weird. It was like all that time I was like, I don't want that. I had someone come up to me recently in Cleveland at a show, and she's like, when we had our baby, you told me, oh, you're still out there doing whatever you want, enjoying your life, and we had a kid, and you made me feel really bad about it. I was like, oh, sorry. I was wrong.
A lot's changed
She's
since
like,
then.
I wanted to say this to you for a long time. I was like, well, hey, you were right. She was like, oh. But like, yeah, she was right. But like, you think that like the best thing in life is getting fucked up and with your friends and just being a jack off and waking up at noon, but it's not.
Whoa, don't put that on the back burner yet.
No, I'm just saying. But the best thing is
it's perspective. Like everything's in perspective.
These little rugrats into the world, and they start to be really awesome.
So if your daughter came to you and said, "Hey, Dad, I want to be a musician,"
that'd be a dream come true.
You'd support her 100%.
Oh my God, that's all I want. It's a great life.
Yeah.
If you're good at it, sorry.
Dude, I think the perspective started like in the first note of the episode when you were saying about like, I never looked at it as there's working musicians. I always thought it was like musicians working to become famous.
Well, look, if you always want a big gig, you always want a big moment, but like
you take that antidote out of it.
You never if I'm going to be honest with you, I never stop believing that could happen. I never stop believing that I'm good enough for whatever I see out there. The opportunities, and I've had quite a few, but I've never had the pivotal opportunity that I seek.
Right.
But like maybe I will. I don't know.
And even at this point, though, the pivotal one comes, you might say no.
Right.
Because it changed your life.
I've had things, there was things that's happened already.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me to do certain things that would be really cool for my career that I don't really regret saying no to. But don't get me wrong. Like if somebody wanted to bring me on a big tour, I'd probably say yes. I would, but like I'm also, my kid's a little older now. This is like that time where I knew being, dad during the daytime when she was 4, 3, 2, like all that time. And then I go out and gig at night when my wife got home from work. I knew that the day could come where, I get back to it in a very serious way.
Yeah.
I just, and that could happen and that would be cool. But like, it was nice to be there for all that time when she was growing up, even though it's tough.
It's weird because we got a lot of guys that own businesses. We get a lot of girls that own businesses come on this show, and kids change a lot. And like, we're not the 1%. We don't have the 1% on this show. But in this sector of people that we know,
We actually, technically, we're all 1%ers, but I just learned that if you make more than $34K a year, that's true.
Globally, we've talked
That's
about that.
true.
welcome to the club.
Yeah.
So we're all rich as fuck. It's
But
great.
like, I don't think that the ethics change. You know, like for our families, we're very you're working a lot. It's
Yeah.
tax season. You always work a lot because your job. But like, I think that that's crazy to think that like you, at a 20-year-old age, you just want to chase it and go get it and whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing's in your way. But at 40 with kids, you're like, nothing's going to change what you're going to do for your kids. Like, you're a great dad to your kids. He's a great dad to his kids. I'm trying to be a great dad to my kids. And like, the priorities change.
well, that's what success is.
Yeah.
Is not always needing to go somewhere else or do something else. It's actually being, if you are, if there's a little bit of thrill within you to go home and see your family, you're successful.
Yeah, like we're moving the goalpost, I guess.
I don't think being great is you're great. It's the pursuit of greatness.
It never stops.
Never stops.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a goal. It never the goalpost is always moving. That's what makes us great, is not that we're great, it's that we're continuing to pursue that greatness.
And your kids see that, and that's that's part of the reason they love you so much.
I think that's the coolest thing about being a dad is it gives you that ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're single and chasing things, there's like zero. Like the ground is zero. Like it could be ugly for you. But with kids, the ground is them. They're the ground. You're never going to get lower than being a good dad to them.
You better be.
You know what I mean? So like you keep it going at that level, which is kind of cool, man. And like,
someone once said it's role model time, baby. Well, when they get to be a certain age,
right.
you can't just be a piece of shit anymore.
No.
We've all been there. We all like being. When I say piece of shit, I mean like there was times where in my early 20s where I wouldn't have been equipped to be a father
100%.
based on the way I was treating myself. But like, then you start to like the love for yourself is good because then they see that and then they're like that. And it's all like
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
it's a good life, yeah.
So I leave to go to the podcast, and my kids are now like, "You do this every week?" I'm like, "Yeah, we do this every week, right?" And my daughter, I told her, I said, "Hey, we're working on some things. I think Mom's gonna open a business." She's like, "How many businesses does one person need?" And I was like, "Well," I said, "if you keep eating the food you eat, keep wearing the shoes you're wearing through, we're gonna need 2 more."
Yeah.
You know what somebody said to me? Somebody said something about working on a Sunday, and they said, "Do you eat today? You work today."
Right. It's like fishing. Did you catch something? Then you ate.
I work a lot of Sundays.
Yeah, our standards are like way too high. We're all doing pretty fucking good. Like, come on.
And, that's the thing, is like putting things in perspective.
And I like let that guide me. Like, I don't know. I mean, I thank God for my life every night.
Yeah.
Whatever
wife.
that is.
Good wife, want to shout her out?
Angel's the best. She's kind of scary, but she's the best. Yeah.
Those are the best
That's the
guys.
best.
She's great. Yeah, she scares the shit out of me. She's hot, and she's wonderful. She's
I think
smart.
I think whenever I first met her, she was working at Aldo,
Oh yeah.
and
Where these boots are from.
we have 2 pairs of shoes from there. I don't think I ever wore. We were just too scared
She's
not
not
to
there
buy them.
anymore.
We were just too scared not to buy them.
Oh, that was nice. I appreciate that. I
We
think
just-
she told me. Like,
yeah, we
she-
just-
I remember she was like, "Oh, your friends came in."
Yeah,
Dude, I would do the same shit.
yeah. I'm like,
If I see a friend selling something, I'm fucking buying it, dude. I don't
Yeah.
care what it is.
because the
It's
the game.
what's supporting people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what else are we doing here?
That's like my hardest thing with things is like people would rather buy Nike than just support like a local brand.
Yeah, a local
you know?
billionaire like Mr. Aldo from Canada. You got to support that guy. Aldo Benzadune is his name. Angel met him once. Like, super nice guy, but he's like one of the richest Canadians ever. But support him.
No, I'm just saying more like along the lines of
Supporting her.
cheeseburgers. Like you go to McDonald's, but like people won't go to a local restaurant.
Oh,
and
that's
get
a problem.
$12
I don't know how we turn that around, but yeah, that's a problem.
Like you can't get a $12 cheeseburger. They're like, oh, it's $12. Like
We
yeah,
went to Butter Joint today. Have you ever been there?
no, where's that?
We went there for lunch today. It's in Oakland. It's like right, you know where Food for Thought is? It's like in Craig Street.
Yeah,
And they it was so good. I haven't had a burger in a long time, and this was like a really good one. And he told me like we get all the meat from, here. Like it's all local. Like, and some people might think that like, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. You got a buddy who makes chicken. Buy your fucking chicken from your buddy.
Yep.
You got an accountant who's local. Use him. Like what? Musician? You need someone? You call me. Yeah. And that's how we have a beautiful community. And we do actually have that here.
Yeah.
Around here,
we're very lucky in Pittsburgh.
Like I said, Pittsburgh is so underrated.
I love this. I never could imagine. Like I love visiting places, but like
that's the other thing.
Living
here is the secret too for me, because living in New York, huge problem. Everything, every fucking time you move, there's a problem. There's people. There's this. And living in LA, too fucking big, too big. Takes too long to do anything. Pittsburgh, I always tell people, it's the child's word search of the United States. Like when you go to a restaurant and you get the back of the menu, you get the word search. It's super easy for us. Pittsburgh's kind of like that.
That's the best.
And that's a good thing. Meaning, like, you can get a lot done in a day here.
Yeah, you could be ananywhere in 20 minutes.
It's great.
Yeah. My sister, she lives in Virginia. It's 45 minutes to a Walmart.
What happened to Virginia, man? Too many people.
It's too flat.
Pittsburgh's
you get these
the
flat
best,
states. Yeah.
We're like an exotic town now.
So our national listeners, you heard it here first.
Where it's at.
We're better than you.
City of champions, dude.
Not right now, man.
We're a sports team.
We're the only.
All of them suck.
We're the only professional football team that doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
I keep hearing Joe Flacco.
Mason Rudolph, baby. We're running with him.
Mason Rudolph.
Truth is,
he took one to the head for the whole team.
Yeah.
I mean, so Russ is gone, done. Over?
I heard today that Russ has pulled out of all of his searches, waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision.
Could we maybe get neither of those guys?
I would be ready to run with Tyler Palko, dude.
I remember that guy.
Give me Tyler Palko and the second round pick next year in the draft.
Maybe Mason. Something think about Mason's back and everyone's talking shit. That dude is a good athlete. He's in the NFL. Yeah. Maybe he becomes this great quarterback and we're good.
Or maybe he does mediocre and we have a losing
9-7, baby.
And we
draft Manning.
End up drafting a decent quarterback.
Draft Manning.
Is that the plan?
Archie Manning.
Imagine being on a football team where he's like, oh, we're not going to try this year, but we're not going to admit it. Or whatever. I don't know how that works.
I just have a hard problem.
Is that what teams do when they're in their rebuilding?
Yeah, but my thing with Rodgers is dude, he beat us in a Super Bowl.
I can get over that.
I can't.
I can too.
I
can't get over the fact that he's just...
Mendenhall fumbled and fuck
Imagine
Aaron
being Aaron Rodgers and having these 20-year-old athletes who are they're just better athletes now. I just don't know how a guy like that can compete.
We're in a career like that. Every day there's somebody new coming.
It's getting hurt all the time.
Every day in your career though, there's always a kid ready to play the guitar.
Right. Well, I don't think about that. I know that's a thing and stuff, but
yeah, but look at Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton's still tearing up a guitar.
Yeah, that's true. And also, if you bring something,
if
you bring something, a flavor to the instrument, it's timeless. It doesn't age.
Have you seen?
Love Clapton.
Have you been to a Billy Joel concert recently?
Love Billy Joel.
No, but last summer I did go to Clapton, and the coolest thing I ever saw.
I'm sorry, but why'd you bring up Billy Joel?
Have you? So I went to see him not the last time he was in Pittsburgh, but the time before that, and I don't even know how old he is.
74, probably.
Mid-70s. Singing, he sprays himself every once in a while. He sprays his little throat spray.
Yeah, but that stuff's just we all have. I have a bunch in my car right now.
Hitting notes.
The best.
And playing Angry Young Man like he did 30 years ago.
I love Billy Joel.
Me too.
His whole career.
Grew up with him because my parents have every single one of his albums.
The best.
And grew up with him. But I'm watching this 70, and at the time he was 72. And I'm watching this guy, 72 years old, play live at PNC Park where the acoustics are meh. And I'm like, this guy is putting on a long, hell of a show.
Hour and a half show.
More than that.
Yeah, he played for a while.
3 hours. These guys, when you're Billy.
He played.
Is this the one with Stevie Nicks or no?
No.
Because I saw her last year and oh my God.
He played
Tremendous.
And he played and he played and he played. And I couldn't believe, I'm like, at 72 years old or however old he was at the time, I'm like, he's fucking unbelievable.
Well, here's the thing that some people might not realize. Singing, like my grandpa sang, my grandma sang. Like singing, for the most part, stays with you. You should be able to do it till you drop. Like it's.
You just got to take care of your voice, and you have to do the things like you said.
Especially a guy like Billy Joel did. Like think about it. He just got better and better at taking care of his voice too, which becomes it's like being an athlete. You know, you want to have a long career. You better take care of your. You know, it's the same idea. Those guys all take care of and the ones that don't, you can see, and it's sad. Like look like a Bon Jovi, who I love, whose singing has kind of gone downhill, which sucks. I mean, I don't know if it is right now. It might have been. Sometimes you also have like a bad moment that gets caught on tape, and everyone's like, "Oh, you suck." Yeah. But like maybe. You're still. They can still sell some tickets.
My favorite artist in the world is Norm Nardini.
I love Norm. Is he really your favorite artist?
Yeah,
he's a great artist.
So
phenomenal. He plays in my hometown.
Yeah, McKeesport Undercover Lover.
He plays in Blawnox. Like,
Moondogs all the time.
No, Starlight.
Him and Billy Price.
Billy's great. All those guys are great. But we have a great
There's a history here. Yeah,
we've got great music.
They had when I went and saw Clapton, they had a camera dedicated to his guitar, which I thought was so cool.
I mean, he's Clapton.
Just like his hands.
I can watch it.
And that album's my favorite album, Slow Hand. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, and he played it, and it was just his hand. And I'm like, man, you could live in that. And like, I think that's what like you bring is like a musician is like, not everybody can do what you do. Like, you can be modest and say like, I just do what I do, but like, dude, there's 1,000 guys a day that wish they could do what these.
Well, my thing is I put as much time into writing as I did into guitar playing, as I did into singing, as I did into performing, as I did into looping, bass playing, drumming, the whole thing. It's something I've worked extensively on, all of it. And
it's like a quarterback in this regard.
I'm like a whole fucking football team right now. I mean, I'm just like, if you come see a show, what you see is, the looping, some people think it's whatever, but like, it's quick. I don't like spend all this time looping and then just like, time banding. No, this is all happening very quickly in front of you. And it's all to serve a moment, Anyways, it's like, I put a lot of effort into it, and all these guys do. And, maybe I, all I ever get is Pittsburgh status, but I've already played all over the country. So we'll see.
You're enjoying your life.
Yeah, I like this right now.
Your dad, you fish?
Yeah, if there's more out there, I'll go get it.
So where can people come see you?
Well, I got my schedule at 28north.com, which is my band, 28north.com. I still use the website because I bought it.
I'm pissed that I missed the reunion show.
Well, we're going to do some more shows. We had too much fun last year to not.
Yeah.
And it was just I'm sorry. We were, those guys, being on stage with them. And Alex came up on stage.
Dude, I'm the last of the Mohicans.
So Alex, the guy who I told you guys about, who had quit the band, and we had a big falling out, who had taught me guitar.
What's his last name?
Alex Stanton.
Yeah, that was your boy from high school.
Yeah, my best friend. And then it took a lot. And one day I was just like laying in bed, and I was like, "We're doing this show. I texted him at like midnight. I was like, "Dude, we're doing this reunion show. You have to be in it." And the first set was without him because he didn't have time to learn all of the new shit we had written. But that second set where he came up was the best part. It was 3 guitar players. I mean, I think everyone who saw it knows there was some magic up there. So yeah, I mean, to not do it again would be a mistake. I'd like to do it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, I've 28north.com. Unfortunately, my brain is such where I never know. People are like, where are you playing next? I'm like, I got to look at my website. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of dates that are booked, like probably, maybe 100 right now on my website. But I don't have them memorized, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But if you go to 28north.com, they're all right there. I'll be playing at Lula and Swickley. That's like a gig for me that I do quite a bit. They're an awesome local, and all the places I play, mind you, are small businesses.
Yeah, you do definitely connect with a lot.
Which is the best, because that's the beauty of it. Like, I mean, I'm not playing at fucking Applebee's. I mean, I would. They fucking called me, but like, it's nice because it's all small business. They're helping me. I'm helping them.
Yeah.
So 28north.com is where you find this.
And then if any small business owners are looking to book you, can they book you on that website too?
Yeah, or just call me. But yeah, my number's on there. Yeah, right on top. There's a booking email, and I get quite a few bookings that way.
This was awesome, dude.
Good. I enjoyed it.
It's informative, man.
Okay, thank you for having me. It's fun.
I've always appreciated you.
Well, you too, bro. Especially now you look so beautiful.
I mean, I stole them. I stole them from Sarah.
Yeah, right.
First grade sweethearts.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
All right.
Great.
Hit some notes. And then I'm gonna hit a intro. And then when you stop, I'll.
There you go.
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Like and subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. You can join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. You can email the show at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Until next time, make it till you rake it.